So Tom Holland kind of said something stupid regarding Uncle Ben and Tony Stark in the MCU. Or did he? The headlines read Spider-Man star Tom Holland would rather see Iron Man return than seeing Uncle Ben in the MCU. This is from about a week ago, and I know I'm late. I admit it, I'm late to making a video talking about this, but I wanted to give my thoughts because I have a couple things I wanted to put out there about this. This article is from comicbook.com, and it reads, and I quote, Peter Parker has lost a lot of people in his time as Spider-Man, but if Tom Holland could have his pick of one person to bring back, it would be Iron Man. IGN talked to the star at the world premiere of his Pixar movie Onward and proposed a question to him. Now, this question, I feel as if this question is strike one when it comes to this topic right over here, because the question, I'll read you the question and I'll give my thoughts in a moment. They asked him if he could bring back of one, would it be Uncle Ben, his parents, Gwen Stacy, or Tony Stark? Now, why this question, in my opinion, is immediately strike one. His parents, Uncle Ben, and Gwen Stacy. We haven't seen them at all in the MCU. They haven't been casted, they haven't been mentioned, not even a little name drop. The closest thing we ever had to an Uncle Ben in the MCU was in Far From Home, just his little suitcase over there. He got Uncle Ben's initials on it. That's it. As for his parents or Gwen Stacy, not even a mention of them at all. We don't even know if Gwen Stacy exists in the MCU. Obviously, his parents exist because if his parents didn't exist, Peter Parker wouldn't be alive. But we know absolutely nothing about Gwen Stacy or anything. So immediately, strike one, maybe even strike two and three. Kind of a dumb question to ask Tom Holland. His answer, though, he said it would have to be Tony Stark. It would have to be him because I love working with Robert so much, and if I could do another day with him, it would be great fun. Now, immediately, a lot of us hardcore Spider-Man fans immediately facepalm at that answer. Out of all the people Spider-Man could bring back, Iron Man is what he chooses. You're not gonna bring back Uncle Ben from the dead. You're not gonna bring back your parents. You're not gonna bring back Gwen Stacy, practically the first love of your life. You're not going to bring her back. You're going to bring back Iron Man instead. Kind of a facepalm. Now, here's the thing, though, where I stand out a little bit different. First of all, you look at Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man in the MCU. Whether we like it or not, Tony Stark has been a major father figure for him, taken over for Uncle Ben within the MCU. So it does kind of make sense for his version of the character to want to bring back Iron Man above all the other characters. So that's why I immediately didn't want to jump on the Tom Holland hate bandwagon and be like, oh my god, this guy sucks. How dare he say that? How terrible of him to say that he wants to bring back Iron Man over Uncle Ben. This is really stupid of him. I was like, well, wait a minute now. That's number one. His version of Spider-Man, again, whether we like it or not, there's a lot of things that I do like about his version of the character. There's a lot of things that I dislike about his version of the character. Me personally, if I was, Spider-Man, I would choose Uncle Ben, obviously. But his version of the character, him choosing Tony Stark to bring back from the dead, makes a lot more sense. So that's why I didn't immediately want to jump on the Tom Holland hate bandwagon. That's number one. And then I started thinking about some more, and that leads me to number two. I started thinking about comic book Spider-Man. Think comic book Spider-Man, think 616 Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, the Spectacular Spider-Man, the Sensational Spider-Man. Think Ultimate Spider-Man, any other comic book version of Spider-Man. And when you think about it, Spider-Man is all about power and responsibility, and he wants to keep the city safe and everything. If he had the choice to bring back one of these people from the dead, I'm talking 616 Spider-Man here, or just comic book Spider-Man in general. Uncle Ben, his parents, Gwen Stacy, or Tony Stark. First of all, bringing back Gwen Stacy, what is that really going to achieve? If we're talking comic book version of Gwen Stacy, she kind of had an affair with Norman Osborn. Yes, granted, she was the love of Peter Parker's life at first, but she's kind of been replaced with Mary Jane Watson. So, bringing her back from the dead doesn't really bring too much. It doesn't really do much. And then you could combine Uncle Ben and his parents into one package. Yes, they were very important to Peter Parker's life. They were, Uncle Ben especially, very important to Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man. If it wasn't for Uncle Ben dying, Spider-Man just turns into a sideshow. He's just a circus act. He's just a professional wrestler. He's just doing whatever he wants to do just to make some money. So bringing them back, is it good for, Peter Parker? Is it good for, Aunt May to have Uncle Ben come back to life? Yeah, it's absolutely great for Peter Parker and Aunt May, but is it really great for, New York City as a whole? Is it great for the world as a whole that his parents or Uncle Ben are back from the dead? Again, not really. And then you think of Iron Man and Tony Stark. He's also another hero. He's a member of the Avengers. He helps, Stark Industries. Not only does it help civilians and the regular people, it also helps heroes. A lot of Stark tech. He can help make suits and he can help make new technology. Comic book Spider-Man? I think he may also choose Tony Stark over Uncle Ben if you really think about it. Because kind of choosing Uncle Ben over Tony Stark may be a little selfish of Peter. You think about One More Day and the decision that he made there to actually end his relationship with Mary Jane just to save Aunt May, just to make sure Aunt May doesn't die. A very selfish decision by Peter Parker, and that's why a lot of us Spider-Man fans hate the One More Day comic book series. So, when it comes to this, giving Tom Holland a lot of hate over choosing Tony Stark over Uncle Ben or his parents or Gwen Stacy, I really don't see the hate there. Now, number 3, he kind of answered this question like Tom Holland. He didn't really answer this question as Peter Parker Spider-Man. He answered it as himself because he likes working with Robert Downey Jr., like he says when he answers the question. So obviously he was in the mindset of himself, Tom Holland. He wasn't really in the mindset of Peter Parker when he answered this question. He was in the mindset of Tom Holland just because he likes being on set and working with Robert Downey Jr., which is why he chose Tony Stark over Uncle Ben, Gwen, or his parents. So that's one reason to not hate on him for this answer. And then, like I said, I started thinking, and maybe, just maybe, I think comic book Spider-Man, the real definitive version of Spider-Man, I think that he would also pick Iron Man over Uncle Ben, his parents, or Gwen Stacy. Because when you really think about it, bringing Tony Stark back from the dead does a lot more good for the world as a whole than it does just bringing back Uncle Ben, his parents, or Gwen Stacy, which bringing them back to life only benefits Peter Parker and his life. Those are my thoughts. I'm not going to hate on Tom Holland for this answer. Like a lot of people out there were immediately quick to bash him. I thought about it for a moment and I was like, well, it actually kind of makes sense. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section down below. And until next time, this is ELT, signing out.